Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Please bear with me because this is like the fourth time I'm trying to record this video. I'm having a couple little difficulties, but anyway, we are going to make this work. This video will be about my Sanseveria, any little care tips that I have come across, anything that I have noticed, anything that I can share with you guys. So let's get into it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So, in this particular pot, if you'll notice, we're actually shooting in a different spot that I normally shoot my videos, because this pot is pretty heavy. These plants are pretty big, but they are nowhere near as big as they will get. These are called Sanseveria. Some people call them Sanseveria. My mother-in-law actually has one that is almost as tall as her entertainment center. It's huge. It's huge, and as time goes on, they spread. They actually give offsets the same way a lot of other plants do. Sprouts will start to appear at the base of another plant, and they can be harvested and repotted, or you can leave them and allow them to cluster as these ones are doing. Currently in this pot I have two different types. The I have the Sanseveria Laurenti, and I also have the Sanseveria Xylanica. If hopefully I'm saying that properly. I got them both as gifts, and I just potted them together, not knowing, any difference. And really, it's not going to harm them in any type of way. The difference is the markings on the two. Okay. Some have a variegation, which anything that has a variegation is basically just the normal plant and then streaks of yellow or white. So whenever you hear someone say variegata or variegated, when you have a plant, that just means that, just like my peperomia here, that's actually another reason why I wanted to shoot down here to give a comparison. Peperomia, this is a Golden Gate peperomia. It's considered variegated. These the dumb cane, or Dieffenbachia Camille, they're also considered variegated, and I also have a golden pothos up there that's considered variegated. That just means that in addition to its base green, it has some sort of yellow or white running through it. Okay, and again, the color may be a little bit off because of the LED grow lights. The sunlight is not really doing too good right now, so I have my grow lights on to assist. Now, these plants really don't need grow lights because these are severely low light plants. They will not be harmed in any way by, a little extra light, but they will flourish in low light. They will flourish in a hallway. If you want to place it like by a stairwell, a nice little accent by a stairwell. Or me particularly, I have this on the lower level because up here on my higher level, it gets more of the grow light. And also, these plants don't take a lot of water. They like to be on the dry side. They really like to be on the dry side. I had an issue with one of the offsets when I was repotting them and putting them in here. That one has started to root rot because the person that had it prior would water it constantly watering it. The watering habits weren't right, because they had purchased it for me and waiting to give it to me as a gift. They were attempting to care for it, and it was being overwatered. So when I did the research and I'm like, what is going on? I realized that they are low water plants. You want to make sure that it's completely dry in between waterings, because this is also a nice, meaty, thick plant. Whenever, that's a general rule of thumb. When you see a plant that has leaves on the thicker side, a safe bet is that it's a low water plant. It likes to be on the dry side, so do your research before you just go dousing them with water. Again, in the wintertime, you want to severely drop off your watering habits. In the summertime, you want to keep a diligent eye on it and make sure, because this pot is a little bit a little bit larger. I know it's kind of hard to get perspective from the camera, but this pot is on the larger side. um, I don't have to water it as often, but it has really good drainage soil and really good drainage holes in the bottom. So these guys are doing really, really well. Now, something that I saw in another video is a, a lady actually described it as an Achilles tip. When you have Sanseveria, you want to be very careful of these tips, because if any damage happens to these tips, that it will stop growing. It will not die. It will not cause it any harm in any type of way, as long as you know, if you get a damaged tip, I just take a nice pair of sterilized scissors, and when I say sterilized, I just mean, wipe them with some bleach or an alcohol pad and run it under some hot water, let it dry completely. That's the extent of sterilizing that you need to do with when you're dealing with plants. And snip it, in a straight or a slant, just to give it a nice clean edge. That's if any damage happens. But what will happen is, if any tips are damaged on these plants, they will stop growing. They won't get any taller. Won't kill them. They won't die. They won't get any taller. This guy is a perfect example right here. See, some sort of damage has happened to this tip right here, and it's getting as wide as it'd like to be, but it won't get any taller. My guy back here actually did an experiment. He's a little hard to see back here, and I clipped the tip because he was getting a little tall, and I wanted to see if it would stop. And it's been several months, and he hasn't gotten any taller. Now, granted, these guys are slow growing plants, so it's not like he's going to shoot up. But I have noticed that that the growth has stopped. So I don't know if that's a true thing, but it seems to be true in the experience that I have. Okay. Let me see. So we have the lighting. It's a low light plant. We have the watering. You want to make sure that it's completely dry in between waterings. And it is not winter hardy. Do not leave this outside. Although it can be outside. My mother-in-law actually she has lots of sons, and she has them carry hers out onto her deck, or her balcony, in the summertime, and that's where it stays. In the summertime, she brings it in for the winter time, so it's more than capable of being outside. But it is a covered deck, so it's not getting 100% sunlight. So you just be careful about the sunlight that you give it. Now, an interesting story, without making this video any longer than it already is, any more unbearable than it already is. As I walk to go get my children from the bus stop, there is actually a couple that have theirs outside. And that thing is burnt to a crisp. It looks like straw. And I want to tell them so bad, hey, you guys should take that inside. But it's too far gone. It doesn't even bear, mentioning. But you want to be very, very careful, because where they have it, it gets no shade. It gets 100% full sun. So it really has damaged that plant, and that plant's gone. It's beyond help. So like I said, my grow lights is not damaging it in any way, so I believe it's the heat from the natural sunlight. So just use your judgment, be careful, just make sure that you treat it like any other succulent, as far as watering habits and sunlight habits, and be cautious of the tips. You guys have a great, great day. Any suggestions, any more information? And I apologize that the video is so long. And I apologize for my where I'm shooting for the next couple of videos. But hopefully this was helpful to someone. Hopefully I gave some sort of usable information. And if you guys have any usable information, any questions, anything that I was unable to answer, feel free to comment, and I'll do the best that I can to do an update or to answer your questions and find that information. Thank you guys, and have a great, great day.